Hello and welcome back to Rosie Sews Modern Vintage. I'm Rosie and it is really lovely to have you here today. Now, as you may have seen if you're following me on Instagram, myself and the lovely Jane at Loopy Mabels Closet have set each other the challenge of making the Cressida jumpsuit by Sew Me Something. Here's a picture of the pattern. Now, I made one last summer as a pattern test when Sew Me Something got in touch and asked me to make one up just before they released it. Here's a picture of my original one. And I really loved it. I'd never made a jumpsuit or a boiler suit or anything like that before, so I didn't really know what to expect, but I totally fell in love with it. And I think because I did it in the floral, it was just a bit more me, and so yeah, I really liked it. It was a great first kind of foray into jumpsuits. Anyway, so we're going to talk about that today, all of my new project, and I'm also going to give you a little sneaky peek of all my t-shirts that I've been making. So I will see you in a bit. So, as I was saying before, I made a floral Cressida jumpsuit last year and absolutely loved it. However, when I came to get all my summer clothes out this year, I cannot find it. I've looked in the ironing, I've looked in my husband's, like my husband and I, we separate our ironing up so it's easier to find stuff. I've looked in both of those sections. I've looked in the dirty washing, I've looked in my winter clothes storage, I've looked under my bed, I've pulled out all my wardrobe, all my shoes, everything. I just don't know where it is. But I have a theory because my husband really hates it, the floral one. And so my theory is he's burnt it, but he says he hasn't. So who knows? Anyway, as I said earlier, Jane and I set each other the challenge of making the Cressida jumpsuit, and we decided that we weren't going to tell each other what style we were going to go, like what fabric, what colours and all that kind of thing we were going to go for. We would just kind of give each other maybe little sneak peeks and go from there. So today both of our Cressida jumpsuits are finished and we sent each other pictures, and it's just unbelievable how different they look. It's amazing that you can take one pattern and just with your choice of fabrics and colours and finishing touches and also the clothes that you maybe style it with, make it look so different. So I put this little sneak peek up on Instagram last week, and that was like a clue as to the colour scheme of my jumpsuit. So are you ready? Here is the finished jumpsuit. Da-da-da. So I went for a navy blue fabric, and then I decided to do red top stitching and red buttons. I saw a navy blue jumpsuit done by a lady whose Instagram is Sewing Tracy, and she did navy blue with cerise pink stitching. I just loved it so much. She wore it to the knitting and stitching show at the same time as I wore my floral one, and I thought, one of these days I'm going to make me one of those. And it's taken me, I don't know, 7-8 months to finally get around to making one, but I did, and I'm absolutely thrilled with it. So I knew I wanted to use like a linen look fabric, although I knew I probably couldn't afford proper linen. So then I was looking at linen mix, like mixed with cotton, and I was looking for linen look fabrics that maybe had a bit of polyester in them and things like that. And there was nothing that I really liked. And then one day I was just searching on eBay and I came across this lovely linen cotton mix in navy. And I was like, that is perfect. And do you know what it was? It was a tablecloth. So my second tablecloth make, if you remember, I made last month the green gingham skirt, circle skirt, out of a circular tablecloth. And yeah, so now I've made my Cressida jumpsuit out of a linen and cotton mix tablecloth. And what was so fantastic was that they were really cheap. So I bought two, and you got two for £11, including postage. And each one was 2.2 meters long, I think. So I thought I would use it all, but actually I've got 1.5 meters left. So I used, what did I use, like 3 meters maybe. So I was really pleased about that. So I used less fabric than Sew Something said I would. And what was also nice was that because the tablecloths were already hemmed, I kept the hem on the bottom, on the hem of the trouser, so it meant that I didn't even need to hem them at the end. They were already hemmed. So what can I tell you about this? I sewed up, if you looked at the finished garment measurements, I would be out of the measurements and I wouldn't fit any of their products, their patterns. But I always look at the finished garment size because sometimes they do give a lot of ease. I find Sew Me Something are really generous with their ease, which is great because it means that I can always fit in at least the top, if not maybe the second one down size wise. So they go up to a size 22 in the Cressida jumpsuit, and I cut the size, a straight size 20. But I think I could have actually got away with cutting a size 18. So I might do that if I make one again. I lengthened the leg as well because I decided I wanted something that I could wear on slightly chillier days, maybe going into autumn or in spring. So obviously then I can roll them up if I want to go for a shorter look, but I can also go for longer if I like. And as you can see in my pictures, I've styled it with all red accessories, and I just love it so much. It just feels really me, you know what I mean? Just like it's so comfortable and wearable, and I feel completely non-self-conscious when I wear it. And you know, I don't need to suck my tummy in because it's loose and all of those things. I really enjoyed it. And the challenge that I set myself really was the top stitching, because I never am happy with my top stitching. I always get annoyed with myself because I never seem to be able to sew it in a straight line. So I was really pleased when I managed to achieve moderately straight top stitching and 4 buttonholes. And I didn't even make a mistake with 1 buttonhole. Normally I always mess up, probably like after I've done 2 really well, then I'll mess up the 3rd one. But they all went really, really well. So that was fantastic as well. And then of course, it's all finished off with one of my little labels in the collar, because I've got to have that just to finish off the outfit. So I'm really chuffed with my jumpsuit. Have any of you made the Cressida? I'd love to hear, if you have, maybe what you did with it, or if you haven't, what you've got planned for it. I'd also love you to go over and check Jane Loopy Mabels' finished jumpsuit, just to see the amazing contrast between the 2 items. Hers is very chic, beautiful, and just, I don't know what the word is, understated. She's not like me. She's not like gone pow out there with a red and navy. She's gone for something really subtle and chic, and it's absolutely beautiful. So please do go and have a look at what she made. Now I'm also wearing one of my t-shirts that I have been playing around on the Brother Scan and Cut. So this is my latest one, which I'm really pleased with. And then I've made 2 others. Basically the inspiration was that I'd seen quite a few kind of American vintage style t-shirts in like reproduction vintage shops. I thought, I've got my Brother Scan and Cut in the cupboard, what am I thinking? So I went to Primark and bought some t-shirts. They were £2.50 each. And because I could have made them, but like it would cost more than that for the jersey, and I actually like to save my energy when I'm sewing for things that are a little bit more unusual that I can't buy in the shops. So yeah, so I bought 2 white and this yellow one. And the first one I did, I'll pop a picture up now, and that was the diner, the American Diner t-shirt. So I bought the font, the American Diner bit, from Etsy, and that basically, you don't get all the letters of the alphabet, you just get those words. So that was like a cut file, they call it. So I downloaded that from Etsy. I think that cost me about £1.50. And then I just, on my Brother Scan and Cut, it has a lot of shapes and yeah, basically any shape you can think of to download, and you can change the size and things like that. So I downloaded some of the stars, and I just cut out some little strips of the blue, as you can see on there, and I really feel like it's a great balance of colours. You know, I love all the primary colours together, and yeah, I was really chuffed for my first attempt. So then this one was my second attempt. Again, I bought the cherry lime drinks 5 cents cut file as one file, and then these cherries were another cut file that I bought. I think the cherries were about 75p, I think, and then this one was about 150 as well. They're normally about that price. And yeah, used all my Happy Fabric vinyls. This is just Happy Flex, the just bulk standard one. Yeah, and then this final one that I'll pop up here is of like some kind of tropical pineapple, which I really liked, and I've used the pineapple itself is actually in like a flocked vinyl, Happy Flock I think it's called, and then the rest is just in the Happy Flex. So yes, I'm really chuffed with those, and basically the price of one t-shirt that I could have bought in the shops, I've made 3, and I've still got the files to do lots of other things. Like I'm thinking I might put something on a tote bag or something to take to the beach, something like that. So yes, I'm really pleased, and I feel like it's just opened my mind now to lots of different opportunities. Anyway, it's been lovely to see you today. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and tick the notification bell so that you can get notifications every time I post a video. And also I will put a link below to Jane's YouTube video so that you can see her beautiful Cressida jumpsuit. Anyway, have a lovely day everyone, and of course, happy sewing. Bye.